a mysteriously deceased benefactor, a desperate, bewildered heiress, terrifying and unexplained occurrences at a sawmill, and a group of investigators with highly dubious qualifications leading to the death of one. Join me tonight, and you may be able to help solve a mystery. In the fall of 1996, 23-year-old Hannah Barberra received correspondence from her Uncle Amos's attorney that he had passed away and that she stood to inherit the lucrative family sawmill. The circumstances of Uncle Amos's death were unusual, to say the least.
My Uncle Amos passed away several years ago, making me the heiress to the famous Barberra Sawmill out east on Highway 81. You know the one I'm talking about. Anyway, the town witch put a hex on him. I know this because he told me so before he died. He said, "Hannah, that damn witch put a hex on me."
Just weeks after claiming her inheritance, Hannah reported mysterious and terrifying events happening at the sawmill.
Well, not but a few weeks go by, and that witch is now trying to put a hex on me. Wants me to sell the sawmill that's been in my family for, I don't know, a long-ass time, and give her the money from it, or else she's going to come after me. I keep screening her calls, but she won't stop trying. She even showed up on my doorstep once wearing this hideous mask. I scared her away, and has only sent shadows in her place ever since. Our staff and general manager were so freaked out, they're threatening to quit. Do you know how hard it is to find a full staff in this economy? Now, I don't know what this witch wanted with the sawmill, but I'm sure it's devious. This business is the only thing keeping my family and I in generational wealth. I knew I needed help, so I looked up the Winchesters because they had a pretty good record with witches. But they retired. So I had to think of another team to call. And only one other team came to mind when I thought of Paranormal Investigation.
We spoke to the most recent investigators on the case regarding their thoughts about the true nature of the Barberra Sawmill Witch.
We took the case immediately and headed out in the van to help Hannah. My team and I investigated sawmills before, but as we drove up, we felt the dark energy. This was different than anything we'd ever dealt with before.
Usually, with our investigations, there's always a logical element. Science and reason always win in the end. Investigators seemed baffled and decided to thoroughly search the sawmill for clues. My first step is always to talk to the staff, see if anyone has to benefit from the situation. But upon my investigation, it seemed like no one liked working there. No one wanted the sawmill for themselves. I was sure this was open and shut. We all were. Well, until...
Velma headed to the library in town. Shaggy and Scooby kept guard while Daphne and I explored the mill and investigated equipment. Very normal. Done many times. Sorry, I need a break.
Two other investigators, who only agreed to be interviewed on the condition of anonymity, recounted the bizarre and disastrous end of their search for clues.
Like, the gang was brought in to help solve this terrifying mystery. We were just keeping watch and heard a scream. Of course, we immediately hid in one of the sheds, just in case, and I don't know how many minutes passed, but Fred ran out of the mill crying, screaming, "Daphne's dead." Whammo blammo! We went and sure enough, zoinks! Daphne was lying there, smashed under the weight of 10 logs. That sound right, Scoops? Right, Raggy? Blood was fucking everywhere. It was like totally not cool. Raggy, I really want some Scooby snacks. You're right, Scoops. This calls for a snack. How about a pickled peanut butter Cool Ranch Dorito sandwich? Ruh-roh. Sorry, Scoop. Looks like we only had enough for one. Rocky rat roll. When dinner calls, I must answer.
And that was it for us. We have dealt with some spooky shit in the past, but it never killed one of us before. We quickly burned Daphne's body so that her soul wouldn't be locked in that horrific place for eternity, and left immediately. Jinkies.
We disbanded after that. Haven't taken a case since. I refunded Hannah's money, apologized, told her that we couldn't help.
With the departure of the incompetent young sleuths, Hannah felt that she was out of options.
Well, quite frankly, I was pissed off. Still pissed off about it. And ran out of options. I had no choice but to sell the damn thing.
The identity and whereabouts of the Barberra Sawmill Witch are still unknown. If you have any information about this or any other unsolved mysteries, call our hotline at 1-800-555-ZOINKS. Perhaps you might be able to help solve this mystery. Update. 5 minutes after last week's broadcast, we received a call from Reno, Nevada, about a suspicious figure dressed as a witch at the baccarat tables at the El Dorado. Authorities matched the appearance of the witchy figure with descriptions of the Barberra Sawmill Witch, arrested the suspect, and unmasked the witch, revealing her true identity, none other than Uncle Amos. He has since pled guilty to faking his death and extorting his niece to escape gambling debts to the mob, and now awaits sentencing. Join us next week for even more Unsolved Mysteries.